Hey everybody, this is Spitting Fire. I'm coming to you with a pre-recorded video. I was contemplating on doing this live. You know how sometimes I do a video in the dark live or whatever, but I think that I'm going to, I thought that I was going to fall asleep on you guys and you're going to hear me snore. At least if it's a pre-recorded video, if I fall asleep, I can at least go back and edit that out. But I know that when I said that I was going to get away from the R. Kelly saga and for a minute or whatever, and I took a break from it, even Injustice. I thought I was going to come back a few weeks ago, but I took a couple months off before that, and I just realized it was just still too much. The Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and some of the others that were just coming back to back, and the process of R. Kelly continually being denied bond, it took it took a toll on me. Excuse me, guys. Early in the morning, my asthma and everything just gets the worst. Okay, but it took a toll on me. And emotionally, I have to take a back seat. So a lot of times, I mentioned this before, but I'm going to, reiterate things because just to remind people why I took a break from Injustice or speaking on it and all the stuff that's going on. And I often direct people to other pages that actually talk about injustice a lot more than I do. You can go to Injustice Investigation News. L. Scott, he does a lot and he does good. You know what I mean? And he's actually working out there on the streets. And he also speaks on black crime and politics and all the other things or whatever. You also have the Blockbender TV Experience, where he also often brings some injustices and stuff, and you can see his point of view. The one thing I like about the two fellas is they have different points of views when it comes to the fight against injustice and how you look at it. Like the unarmed black men, having an encounter with the police. I like things like that because you can look at the glass half empty or you can look at it half full. Whatever it is, you get a different viewpoint. And both viewpoints are valid. It's just about what you believe. But one of the things that I want to talk to people about is believing things and actually trying to shove your beliefs down someone else's throat it's not acceptable. But explaining your viewpoint and thoroughly, then people can get an understanding on why you think the way you do. And then therefore we can come to a solution to where we could probably be in a step in the right direction to solve the problem on both halves. In other words, you have Al and Justice who, think that the police should be held accountable for shooting on our black men. But then you have the Blockbender TV Experience and say, hey, wait a minute. The police putting themselves on the line each and every day. And some of the stories into which people are protesting are not hearing the true facts of the case. And even on video, we only see certain aspects of the instances that actually happen. And so we need to actually thoroughly investigate because some of these shootings do be justifiable if you think of it this way. And he often talk about looking at things through a different lens. So what do we do? How do we go about bringing the police and black men together to police our neighborhood, but also have respect for the black culture? So these are the things that we definitely need to work on. But a lot of times people don't understand how that have to deal with R. Kelly. Well, here's the thing. We live in society each and every day, and different class of people and whatever. And R. Kelly is a superstar and everything else. So my thing is, if we start at home, then we can actually advocate for someone else. We have to actually get ourselves and our culture together first. He falls in that category, but he has exceeded over and beyond that, and it's become a political factor. And a lot of times there's a lot of different conspiracies. Now, the setup is real when it comes to Robert Sylvester Kelly. However, we as a people have to conduct ourselves as such to even be taken seriously, so the law can understand that we're not going to go anywhere. So when I find myself drifting away from the R. Kelly story, which I wanted to time and time again, I find myself pulled back in one way or the other. Whether I have to fight with someone to sit up there and not trash my name, or rather my passion and my strong beliefs in his innocence keep drawing me back in because of the continuous bail denial. And one of the things that I find ironic in this situation is the judge and the judges and how they are talking with each other. And and I'm not understanding how that works. I'm not understanding if this is the first. Now, I'm not a person who actually covered a lot of federal crimes or trials or law in itself, other than, civil situations instead of criminal. But I can honestly believe that I have never heard of judges talking to each other. And even with the appeals court, I never understood why they would deny his bond because on the basis of he may run. Now, for the life of me, he has not ran prior. But then they said, well, because he obstruct justice and he paid the parents off and he threatened the witnesses. Well, if that was the case, then I just feel that the parents need to be held and be in jail too, because you took money and you're supposed to be protecting your daughter or sons or whatever it is that you're saying that he done wrong sexually to these minors, alleged minors, even at that point. But I'm just not understanding that, because that's a charge in itself. See, in other words, what I'm saying is, if I'm on trial for a sexual crime, and then you want to charge me with some other crimes like threatening, intimidating, obstruction of justice, if you want to try me with that, those are charges too. So when they deny bail on the effect of those charges, the law is basically saying he's automatically guilty. And that there is what I believe, personally, I believe that needs to be brought to the attention of the people. And I don't think a lot of the people are thinking of it that way. I just want to pray for Robert Sylvester Kelly. The karma is real. His daughter was rushed to the hospital. John Legend lost his son. These people are not doing well. I don't get why people do not understand. I don't get it. And see, with his daughter, it's not just the karma of her, but it's her mother. You know, karma, when you do things, it comes back on your children as well. You got to be careful, because now you have a child that has to be rushed to the hospital, and the father and you cannot even console each other over your child. I just think that people need to understand what is going on. Really, what is going on. But I like to take things to a different level, to a different notch. Turn it up a notch. And I think people with these protests that they are getting the word out, but I think they need to take it to the next level. And that's just my take on it. If you are a blogger and you want to know what it is that I think that should, what we should do, then make sure you contact Spitfire via email. I am not talking to anyone over the phone again, whether you blogger or mod or sub. Not again. For those who have my number will have it, but no new people. Or people who, if I never talked to you over the phone, the only way you're going to contact me is email. I'm not dealing with getting people back in my space again. I'm not doing that. I just keep who I have, but no new people. All right? No disrespect. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm just keeping that distance. Because going through this, of what I'm going through on these YouTube streets with people, I don't want this to happen again. And I know that when people are at distance, then there is a level of respect and nobody get in this space to take anything personal. All right? So thank y'all for listening to Spitfire. I'm your girl, R.A. Jackson. Peace!